Hiya, I'm Sally and welcome back to my channel Vaudeville Manor. Vaudeville Manor is a whimsical world which has evolved into a world that is strongly influenced by tarot, and to cut a very long story short, I am now designing a tarot deck. So I thought I'd do a quick video to explain how tarot came into my life and why it's so important to my artwork. Before we get started, I should explain there is a video where I've sort of explained this already, but it was in the context of using tarot as journaling prompts, because that was my initial intention with this YouTube channel. Well, my second intention, but I realised that that was quite an undertaking, and I decided that I was going to focus just on the designing part of tarot, so my process, and other tarot related things. I have this habit of making things way too complicated than they need to be, so that is what I've decided to do. So if you're interested in all things to do with tarot, or you just love the artwork that goes along with the cards, then hopefully this will be interesting for you, just to see how much work actually goes into a deck. But there'll be lots more about that in future videos. So how did tarot come into my life? Well, I've got to be honest, the universe works in mysterious ways, and I feel like I was being given hints way back before I actually got into tarot, because a few years ago I didn't know anything about it, and now it's the one thing that I sort of keep coming back to. And I have a bit of I'm a bit of a jack of all trades, master of none, and I do get absorbed into things quite quickly, but I'm hoping this one will stay. I didn't set out to design a tarot deck, it sort of fell into my life, if you like. So when I first started Vaudeville Manor, I thought my main medium was going to be doll making, and I'll do a separate video about that, but I have to mention it because that's what led me to tarot ultimately. But way back when I started, even before I started doll making, a friend of mine did suggest to me, she saw some artwork that I'd done, that I should consider designing tarot decks. And at the time I thought, oh, that sounds interesting, but I had no clue about what tarot was, what it involved. So I just put it to one side and sort of left it there in my subconscious. And then roll a few years later on, I was designing my Tremendous Tuxedo circus characters in doll form, and it sort of snuck its way back in. So one of the characters is Misty the Fortune Teller, and once I'd designed the dolls, obviously they're quite bespoke things and at a higher price point on my Etsy shop, I thought, well, I could sort of do more accessible pieces. So I decided to design some instant downloadable colouring pages, which I will show you. So these are printed copies of the colouring pages that I designed. They actually started off as hand drawings, which I then digitised in Illustrator. These are single sheets that can be downloaded, but I am also in the process of creating a printed colouring book, but more on that later. So this is Misty the Fortune Teller. So she had her crystal ball, and I wanted to add some additional cards that weren't necessarily just the cat characters, and so I thought, well, okay, she's a fortune teller, let's give her some colouring pages. So I really just used plain cards because, as I said, I didn't know anything about tarot. I did take some liberties here and created the paw card. So I just typed in tarot into Google, and obviously the Rider-Waite-Smith deck came up as the images. And if you're not familiar with, this is the pocket version of the deck, published by US Games. I've actually only recently just got this, but you can see here we've got the High Priestess, sort of took the core imagery and really tried to use it. So we've got the Two of Pentacles, we've got the Sun, the Moon card, Strength. I really simplified that. As I said, when I started this, I had no idea of the importance of the images, the importance of the symbolism in the images. I was really sort of winging it, and that's that one you can't really see, but that was the Lovers, which I just simplified with some smooching kittens. So anyway, I didn't really think anything more of it. I uploaded them onto my Etsy shop, and then a couple of people bought these, but then I had some feedback from people saying, oh, I really like this, but I thought it was a whole deck, or it would be really great if you did more of the cards. And so it was really a call to action from the universe to look at this a little bit more. And so I then created the first set of the tarot deck. So if you don't know, the tarot deck is split into two sections, the major and the minor arcana. And so yeah, I just there's 22 cards in the major arcana. These are like archetypes of personalities or major life events, and again, not knowing anything about these, if I'm totally honest. And once I'd finished, I decided to pop them onto my Instagram, and I just quickly coloured them in, and because I wanted to write something about the pictures, I decided to look them up. And it was when I looked them up that I realised that the meanings were really quite interesting, and that was it, that got me hooked. So why has tarot now become quite important to me, particularly when it comes to art making? Well, there's a couple of reasons for that. The first thing is that I do get a little bit carried away with creative projects, and there's lots of things that I want to do. I've got the Tuxedo Circus. I was also doing some work based around goddesses, other circusy related things, and I think the problem was I've got more ideas than I've actually got time to commit. And since doing tarot, it's kind of helped me sort of narrow that vision down a little bit and almost give myself a bit of a clear plan. So since focusing on tarot, I'm purely focusing on my Tremendous Tuxedo Circus project or / collection. Obviously the deck is going to be quite an extended project, but it's also encouraged me to go ahead and finish getting my printed book together, very close to getting that off to KDP and self-published, so quite excited about that. So I still get distracted by other ideas for new projects, but I've found since working with the tarot, it's enabled me to realise that it's a distraction and that I'm able to put that idea to one side and bank it for a future project, which, when you have quite a meandering mind and you get easily distracted, I think that's quite a valuable tool to have at your disposal. And if you found that too, then please comment below. I'd love to hear your experiences of how tarot's helped you to become more focused. The other thing is as I said, I became really interested in the meanings of the individual cards, and actually in that alone, if you're an artist or a creative person, the meanings of each card are really inspirational. And going through this process, exploring tarot through my Tremendous Tuxedo Circus characters, has helped me to tell their story a little bit more and explore their world, which I probably wouldn't have done had it not been for deciding to go down this path of creating my own deck. So I'm really thankful for the opportunity that tarot has given me in that respect as well. It just keeps me grounded. I find that when I return to the cards, and it doesn't matter which deck I use, I feel a lot more grounded. And so if I do at least a daily reading, I find the meanings really insightful, and you could always get a bit of information sort of from your subconscious about what it is you're meant to be doing that day, or if there's things that are kind of to be aware of, or simply just, you know, the cards will be saying, hey, you're doing a good job, keep going, this is the path you're meant to be taking. And, you know, for some people they might think, oh, that sounds like a load of woo, but I think some of us just need that little extra bit of guidance or reassurance. And you know, it's great to get support from friends, family, online community, but I don't know, it's something really special about the cards when they tell you something like that. Well, I find that anyway. And the other thing is, as an artist, I love looking at art. So when I was younger, I would buy loads and loads of art books. I think buying tarot decks has sort of just superseded that, and I get really excited about looking at different decks, different types of artwork, and as I said, I will do some reviews on some of the decks that I have, and I definitely you just love to see how other artists and other creators have interpreted the meanings of the cards. Thank you so much for watching today and sharing my discovery of tarot. I'd love to know how tarot came into your life. Have you always liked tarot? How did it get introduced to you? Did it mysteriously come into your life like it did with me? Please put some comments below. And if you are interested on this tarot and art journey that I'm going on, I'd love for you to join me and subscribe to my channel for future videos and updates about how this is going. And until the next video, bye bye.